Hey, so this is gonna be an unscripted, quick little video because I don't have the time to make a proper script right now. I'm in the middle of getting ready for finals, and I don't have the time to make a proper video on this. It does need to be addressed, so I don't want to just leave it there unaddressed. I feel like that would be morally wrong of me to do. If you guys didn't watch my last video, I briefly talked about an individual named Sam, and since that video came out, I've been getting comments about how people believe Sam to be a predator. It took me a while to really consider these words. I didn't want to just jump on a hate or canceling train like I've seen a lot of people do. So I tried to keep my ears open. I tried to listen to the other side. And it wasn't until yesterday, actually, when I got a comment from another adult telling me that what I'd experienced wasn't normal by their standards at all, that I kinda removed the rose-tinted glasses to try and assess the situation as it was. I can't say for sure if I was groomed, because most of the time the articles I've been searching up, at least, have all been to achieve some kind of sexual goal, but there have been a few mentions that grooming could be for purely romantic goals as well. If that is the case, then I do believe that I had been groomed to support her emotionally. It's all a lot to take in, obviously. The reason that I probably didn't come anywhere near this conclusion to begin with is because I've been conditioned by my parents to believe things that happen in my life that go wrong are my fault. So I automatically default to that assumption that if something went wrong, it wasn't the other person, it was me. And that's part of the reason why I can't tell my parents about any of this. Because they're 100% the type of people to victim blame. I mentioned in my last video that Sam and I are no longer on speaking terms. I've never thought about it until now, but I never felt like I could talk to her about my own problems because I felt like, her problems were almost were always so much more important than mine because, I was still a teenager in high school and she was an adult dealing with adult things. There's a lot of other personal relationship drama that I'd rather not get into in this video. The point being, the friends I've talked to about the situation with Sam have all agreed that she was a toxic person. And that maybe I'd been, groomed, I guess. I should explain that while everything that happened was not normal, and I don't condone that happening to anyone else, it wasn't actually illegal where I live. Where I live being Alberta, Canada, there are lax laws on dating, and since I started dating her at 16, it was legal. Obviously, that doesn't, make anything right or good. I'm really hesitant to call her a pedophile, a predator, maybe, but I don't want to go around saying these kind of things willy-nilly because they could easily ruin someone's life. Do I think what happened was okay? No, not anymore. However, the point I made in my last video, that being Naomi's terrible intentions, exposing someone for public humiliation still stands. She never did these kinds of things for the right reasons, and doing the right thing for the wrong reasons doesn't exactly make it a good deed anymore. I'm still trying to come to terms with everything, and the reason that I made this video without scripting it or waiting until I had more time to was because I never want to give off the impression that I support any sort of pedophilia or that, kids in these kinds of scenarios or relationships shouldn't go seek help from adults. If you are in the position that I was in, I do encourage you to reach out. It doesn't really matter who. It can be someone you trust, family member, police officer, just anyone. Just please tell them something. Another thing I'd like to address is some of the comments I've been getting about the situation. I don't want to guilt trip anyone, but I do believe that some of these comments need to be addressed. If you ever do see another victim defending a predator, please do not go onto their profile or anywhere and tell them that they're disgusting for doing so. Defending a predator is part of the manipulation process, and by doing that, it makes it harder for the victim to come out or realize their experiences, because what you're doing is essentially blaming them for acting like a victim, and that makes it really hard to come out and say these things. I'm not trying to blame anyone who's commented. I know that, people probably don't know better, but it's something I'd like to say so it can be avoided in the future to help other people come out. I've debated with myself whether or not I should put Sam's channel out there for people to see. And while I do realize giving out her channel would make it more accessible for people to attack her, not giving it out would completely defeat the purpose of me making this video, because no one would know who I'm talking about. So I'm going to give her channel out right here. I don't want anyone to go out to witch hunt or harass her. I just like people to stay away if it's possible. I'm really sorry that this video is unscripted and so dark, but I did have to address these things because I never want to give off the impression that a predator is okay, that a pedophile is okay, and I never want to influence my obviously young fan base to push them into the arms of predators or to make them think that they're okay, and I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if that was the message they took away from my video, so I'm trying to clear it up here. Obviously, this revelation has shaken me a bit, and I was already dealing previously with a lot of mental health issues, so while I'll still be working, I'll probably be keeping to myself and my friends a lot more. I'm really sorry if I contributed to any normalization of predators or maps or pedophiles at all. I never meant for that to be the message in my video. Sorry.